You've probably heard that an NFT stands for non-fungible token, which already puts you ahead of my grandfather, who thought NFT stood for nice, finally Thursday. But what is an NFT? A non-fungible asset is something that cannot be altered or replaced with anything else. It is the very definition of the word unique. But visual uniqueness alone is not always the point of an NFT, since millions of people could all be looking at the same image right now, like this one. In fact, multiple copies of the same NFT can be minted within a set on the blockchain. So if it's not actually rare, what's the point? Well, let's discuss the word blockchain for a moment. Every website in the world has a front end, the piece we interact with, and a back end, the part that does the heavy lifting from behind the scenes. Sort of like Mount Rushmore. Everyone wants to take a picture of the front, but there aren't a ton of people lining up to take a picture of the back, and for good reason. And in most cases, the back is built on a centralized server that charges rent money. In fact, Amazon, which owns the world's largest centralized server, actually makes most of its profits from this. This is also probably why they don't bat an eye when you return something. Like that one guy who actually bought and returned a penis chastity cage with a small note saying, "Sorry, it didn't work." True story. But the downside to a big company like Amazon owning these large servers is that unfortunately, given enough time, these centralized power systems can often lead to an industry monopoly. So what's the solution? Enter blockchain, a decentralized system. Instead of one big company hosting most of the internet's data, a web of servers that stretches all around the globe does it instead. When a website is attached to the blockchain, it is disconnected from the centralized server and connected to the decentralized web of hosts. Why does this matter? Like diamonds, information on the blockchain is forever. Unless you got your diamonds from that really sketchy guy on Canal Street, then you're pretty much screwed. This means that everything logged onto it can be looked up at any point in time with a transaction hash, which, for those of us who don't speak nerd, means a complex series of characters that records both the origin and the destination of whatever is being moved. So, an NFT, for example, becomes an NFT because it is taken from a centralized server and then deployed onto the blockchain. So, from now until the end of time, that digital good can be traced anywhere on the blockchain, preventing someone else from saying they made it first, which should, in theory, finally rid us of plagiarism and intellectual property theft on the internet. Now, sure, there have been many cases where someone took a photo of an NFT and then turned around, minted a copy of that image and tried to make a profit. But for that example of fraud, the original creator now has the opportunity to prove their work from a timeline basis that's recorded on the blockchain. LVMH, the world's largest luxury fashion conglomerate, is currently working on a system that would damage the knockoff industry by allowing for easy authentication of physical goods via tying them directly to the blockchain, thus guarding against the immense devaluation of their brand from copycats. So you see, the biggest value that NFTs offer isn't rareability, but traceability. And that's an important distinction, because in the future, these unique transaction hashes will protect creators from constantly having their work stolen, something that requires an insurmountable amount of evidence to prove in a lawsuit. And forget protecting LVMH. Large brands often steal ideas from independent artists, leaving them with the burden of proving ownership in court. This leaves small brands, the mom and pop stores of the fashion industry, with little to no recourse. But by using blockchain, small artists everywhere could finally protect themselves by immediately minting their creations on the blockchain before releasing them to the public, thus having verifiable proof of their intellectual property. But as great as this is, it's still not going to stop people drawing a Chanel logo on their McDonald's to-go bags as they walk around Times Square. P.S. If you know someone like this, for your own safety, please unfriend them. And all joking aside, thanks to something called smart contracts, programs stored on the blockchain that run when certain conditions are met, creators also have more control over how they want to be paid. Currently, when an artist sells a piece of art, they never see another dime after that initial transaction. But with smart contracts today, an artist can now create a piece of work, mint it on the blockchain, and every time that piece is sold or resold, the artist has the option to take a portion of that profit. NFTs are still in their infancy. We are at the forefront of deciding how NFTs will best serve us. And though the space is imperfect, we feel excited about its sheer potential. Do you agree? Are NFTs a crucial part of our future? Let us know in the comments.